Avatar the Last Airbender live action series on Netflix. I was excited for this one. I was very, very excited for this one. I'm only halfway into it, so I haven't finished it yet, so I'll do a part 2 after I finish the entire thing. But right away, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Give me all your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, despite whatever you thought about it and whatever I thought about it, unfortunately, there might be a risk that it could possibly get canceled. They might do season 2. They might scrap the entire thing. And if you didn't know, Netflix has a lot of plans for this franchise. But now it's at jeopardy because, well, overall, I don't think they got the response that they were really hoping to get with this series. For example, the Rotten Tomatoes critic score right now is sitting at 60%, but the audience score is at 75%. So that's good. That means the majority of people who have watched it and care to go actually comment and review on Rotten Tomatoes have liked it. Now, I thought it was decent. I wasn't blown away by the entire series, what I've seen so far, but there were some really great moments in it that I really, really enjoyed that reminded me of, the Nickelodeon series that I've watched before that I truly do cherish. And just so you're aware, the Rotten Tomato score from critics for the Nickelodeon series is 100%, which is crazy. And the audience score is not too far behind it with a 98%, which is amazing as well. Now, the M. Night Shyamalan movie sits at 5% from the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and it sits at 30% from the audience, which is really not good. Now, from what I've seen so far, I think that it's pretty good. And I'm kind of right in the middle because sometimes I'm like, wow, this is pretty good CGI. And then another time I'm like, wow, this is pretty bad CGI. Then there's the acting. I'm like, wow, that was a pretty good scene. And sometimes I'm like, wow, this really just isn't good acting. Now I know they're kids, so I'm giving them a break. I'm not really criticizing them too much, and they will grow and get better. So season 2 should be better, etc., with the acting. But the story, yeah, they changed some things, and I noticed that right away. And there's just little things that I'm like, well, why didn't you do this? Or why did you change this? And that's just coming from a person who has watched, the Nickelodeon series before, and I'm used to that, and I kind of wanted that, but I realize it's an adaptation. Now, the fight scene, sometimes I'm like, it doesn't feel natural, it just doesn't feel natural. But sometimes I'm like, wow, it was really cool. I like what they did there. I like how it looked. Visually, it's pretty cool. So I'm like, I am right in the middle. I think it's good. And I went into this, wanting to have a good time. I didn't want to nitpick it too much. Again, I do have a tendency to draw back to the Nickelodeon series and compare the two. I'm trying not to the best of my abilities, but we'll see how I feel at the end of the series. However, fans, how do the fans feel about it? Because that is the most important part. Some comments about the show have been very, very bad. Like this one, for example, coming from Kira. Just watched the Avatar live action series on Netflix, and gosh, the tears in my eyes. The directing, editing, the dialogue, the cinematography, the acting, the production, the CGI, everything was garbage from beginning to end. Definitely the worst thing I've ever watched in my life. Pretty harsh criticism. Another really harsh comment, and it's funny because it's very short, but it says everything it needs to say about how this person feels. When M. Night version is better, oof, and oof to that comment, because I definitely do not think M. Night's version was better. Just my opinion, but I think that opinion is shared by many, many people. In fact, I asked everybody on my Twitter page what they thought of it, and this is what they said. One comment says solid. Another one says definitely better than the movie. Not that that is hard to do, but was hoping for a little more acting from the kids. Just isn't great, but hopefully that improves with time. I kind of said the same thing. Again, I'm giving the kids, a break because they're kids, but I do hope it improves over time. There were some scenes where I'm like, I'm not in it because the acting's not there. Another comment says the only thing it has going for it is that it is better than the movie, which is like a compliment, but also not a compliment. It's like a backhanded compliment, but this seems to be kind of a trend because another comment says, not as great as I wanted it to be, but still better than this and it's a gif of the movie. Another one, acting wise, the kids are not there yet, but other than that, it's pretty good. Another common theme. But there are people who are truly enjoying it. This one says 3 episodes in, and as someone who never saw the original, but was always interested in watching it, the live action is great. Also, I will 100% watch the original show when I finish the live action. I highly recommend watching because it's fantastic. It really is. Another one, pretty great show, no complaints. The fight scene twist at the end of episode 2 alone was perfect and reason to keep watching. Currently in episode 4. Awesome. Another one, I loved it. There's some changes, but it's an adaptation, so that's fine, because otherwise, why bother? But overall, visuals were great, acting was great. I can't wait for a season 2. See, I definitely understand this comment, and I think a lot of people do kind of think this way as well, but I have always been a person that, like, when Disney does live actions and they change some stuff, I'm like, just give me what it was before. That's kind of how I am. I'm okay with a little bit twists and stuff, but I really hate when they change some things that I just like, I really loved. Like, I really did. I don't know, it irks me. Another one just says fantastic. Another one just says fire emojis, so clearly people are liking it. But then you get those in the middle that says, I think it's okay, man. I was starting to like it until some serious changes were made in episodes 3 to 5. I won't spoil anything, but after seeing the changes, I'm just furious of them and hope the next season doesn't change as much as the changes I've seen so far. See, this is kind of a problem that I have as well. I compare it to Nickelodeon's version, so I understand where you're coming from. But I did get a comment, one of these, Shyamalan's version was better. Another one says rubbish. Another one says mixed bag. In my opinion, some changes and additions work. A lot don't, though. But then we get people that say, really liked it. So it really is kind of in the middle there. But the problem is Netflix really does have a lot riding on this series because they really did plan like a big future for this franchise. And right now it's kind of in jeopardy because of how well or not well that it's being received. So it's only been out for a little bit now. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm assuming they'll just go and do season 2, maybe no matter what happens, unless somehow this just really starts to bomb. But I think they'll make a decision after they get season 2 responses from the audience. I think that's when they're going to go, okay, hey, let's scrap what we're doing. We're done. Remember, Netflix does have a tendency to cancel shows after just one season. But I think that the audience reception being at 75% is really good. And I think it's enough for them to continue on to make season 2. As long as it doesn't really drastically drop, I think we're okay. But let me know your thoughts about it in the comments down below. Do you think season 1 is good enough to give Netflix enough hope to move forward with their plans for this entire franchise, which are big? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I will catch you all in the next video.